Eddie Kirkland, August 16, 1923 – February 27, 2011, was an American electric blues guitarist, harmonicist, singer, and songwriter. Kirkland, known as the Gypsy of the Blues for his rigorous touring schedules, played and toured with John Lee Hooker from 1949 to 1962. After his period of working in tandem with Hooker, he pursued a successful solo career, recording for RPM Records, Fortune Records, Volt Records, and King Records, sometimes under the stage name Eddie Kirk. Kirkland continued to tour, write and record albums until his death in February 2011. His last performance, the night before his death, was at Dunedin Brewery. Biography. Kirkland was born in Kingston, Jamaica to a mother, aged 11. Kirkland was raised believing his mother was his sister, and first heard the blues from field hollers, and raised in Dothan, Alabama until 1935, when he stowed away in the Sugar Girls Medicine Show tent truck and left town. Blind Blake was the one who influenced him the most in those early days. He was placed on the chorus line with Diamond Tooth Mary McLean. When the show closed a year later, he was in Dunkirk, Indiana, where he briefly returned to school. He joined the United States Army during World War II. It was racism in the military, he said, that led him to seek out the devil. After his discharge, Kirkland traveled to Detroit, where his mother had relocated. After a day's work at the Ford Rouge plant, Kirkland played his guitar at house parties, and there he met John Lee Hooker. Kirkland, a frequent second guitarist in recordings from 1949 to 1962. It was difficult playing behind Hooker, but I had a good ear and was able to move in behind him on anything he did. Quote, Kirkland fashioned his own style of playing open chords, and transformed the rough, porch-style Delta blues into the electric age by using his thumb, rather than a guitar pick. He secured his own series of recordings with Sid Nathan of King Records in 1953, at Fortune Records in 1958 and, by 1961, on his own album It's the Blues Man, with the King Curtis Band for Prestige Records. Kirkland became Hooker's road manager, and the two traveled from Detroit to the Deep South on many tours, the last being in 1962 when Hooker abandoned Kirkland to go overseas. Kirkland found his way to Macon, Georgia, and began performing with Otis Redding as his guitarist and bandleader. As Eddie Kirk, he released The Hawk as a single on Volt Records in 1963. The record was overshadowed by Rufus Thomas's recordings, and Kirkland, discouraged by the music industry and his own lack of education to change the situation, turned to his other skill and sought work as an auto mechanic to earn a living for his growing family. In 1970, one of the revivals of the blues was taking place. Peter B. Lowry found Kirkland in Macon and convinced him to record again. His first sessions were done in a motel room, resulting in the acoustic solo LP Front and Center. His second was a studio-recorded band album, The Devil and Other Blues Demons. Both were released on Lowry's Tricks Records label. It was during the mid-1970s that Kirkland befriended the British blues rock band Foghat. Kirkland remained with Lowry, Tricks, and was based in the Hudson Valley for 12 years. It was during this period that Kirkland appeared on Don Kirshner's rock concert with Muddy Waters, Honeyboy Edwards, and Foghat. Eddie's thumb-pick-them-fingers style give him freedom to play powerful chord riffs rich in rhythms and harmonic tension. He plays like a funky pianist, simultaneously covering bass lines, chord kick, and counterpoint. Quote, in 1973, Kirkland performed at the Ann Arbor Blues and Jazz Festival. John Sinclair decided that they should salute Detroit blues musicians and had them play on the Saturday afternoon. These included Bobo Jenkins, Baby Boy Warren, One String Sam, Little Junior Canaday, and Boogie Woogie Red. The 1990s brought Randy Labb as manager, booking agent and on his own record label, Deluge, who recorded Kirkland. 3 albums were produced during this main period, which included Greg Hoover on guitar, James Thacker on bass, and Darren Tabuto on drums. Darren Tabuto Jr., son of Darren Tabuto, sat in with the band at the venue in Portland, Maine. 1 live, 1 with a guest appearance from Hooker and 1 containing a duet with Christine Ullman. By 2000, Kirkland was on his own again, always doing his own driving to concerts in his Ford County Squires, crossing the country several times a year. Labeled now as the Road Warrior, a thick-set, powerful man in the waistcoat and pants of a pinstripe suit, red shirt, medallion, shades and a black leather cap over a bandana, his heavy leather overcoat slung over his arm. He's already a road warrior par excellence. Quote, well into his 80s, Kirkland continued to drive himself to gigs along the coast and in Europe, frequently playing with the Wentes Blues Band from Finland. A documentary short entitled Pick Up the Pieces was made about a year in Kirkland's life. 2010. Death. Kirkland's last performance, the night before his death, was at Dunedin Brewery. He died in a car accident on February 27, 2011 in Crystal River, Florida, at approximately 8:30 a.m. A bus hit Kirkland's car, a 1998 Ford Taurus wagon. Reportedly, Kirkland attempted to make a U-turn on U.S. 98 and Oak Park Boulevard, putting him directly in the path of a Greyhound bus. The bus struck the vehicle on the right side and pushed it approximately 200 feet from the point of impact. Kirkland suffered serious injuries and was transported by helicopter to Tampa General Hospital, where he died a short time later. The bus driver and 13 passengers on the bus were not hurt. Family. Kirkland was survived by his wife, Mary, and 9 children. He was predeceased by 1 child, Betty, and his first wife, Ida. Discography. Note: on some of the 1960s recordings, Kirkland was billed as Eddie Kirk. It's Time for Lovin' to Be Done, 1952, as Little Eddie Kirkland. That's All Right, 1952, as Little Eddie Kirkland. Please Don't Think I'm Nosy, 1953, No Shoes, 1953, Mistreated Woman, 1953, I Need You Baby, 1959, Done Somebody Wrong, 1959, It's the Blues Man, True Sound Records, 1962, Let Me Walk With You, 1964, Monkey Tonight, 1964, Hog Killing Time, 1964, Treat Me the Way You Want, 1964, The Hog PT, 1 inch, 1965, The Hog PT, 2 inches, 1965, Them Bones, 1965, I Found a New Love, 1965, Front and Center, Tricks Records, 1972, The Devil and Other Blues Demons, Tricks Records, 1973, Pick Up the Pieces, 1981, JSP, 3 Shades of Blue, 1987, Have Mercy, Pulsar Records, reissued by Evidence Records, 1988, All Around the World, Deluge Records, 1992, Some Like It Raw, Deluge, 1993, Where You Get Your Sugar, Deluge, 1995, Lonely Street, Telarc Records, 1997, Movin' On, JSP Records, 1999, Hastings Street Grease, Volume 1. Blue Suit Records. 1998. The Complete Tricks Recordings. 1999. 32 Records. Hastings Street, Greece. Volume 2. Blue Suit Records. 1999. Democrat Blues. Blue Suit Records. 2004. The Way It Was. 2005. Booty Blues. 2006. Crash Boom Bang. 2008. Foghat Last Train Home. 2010. Marmio. 2010. Official website.